Hello, my friends. Welcome into day 2 of my new catalog launch party. We are going to be looking at another sweet collection, and today I can actually show you the catalog. Actually, if I know where I put it. Oh, here it is. So today is the official launch day of the new catalog. So as I mentioned yesterday, we now have 3 catalogs a year. This is the May through August catalog. It's so pretty. I hope you guys are loving what's in the new catalog. You can actually see everything online now because it's all live. If you have any questions, pop them below. And if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video and or subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I would love to have you following along because we are going to have a lot of videos this week featuring new goodies. And I hope to inspire you to do a little bit of creating on your own, whether it's with the new stuff or just using the patterns and layouts that I'm going to make to use up some of your stash too, right? So hopefully it'll be a win-win for you, and I'm super excited to share today's suite because it is, let me get the official name of it. It is called the Valley in Bloom suite, and it's kind of all about lilies of the valley, and that is my birth flower, and today happens to be my birthday. So May 5th, May baby, so that's a lily of the valley flower, and I'm super excited to show you what I made with this suite. And we're gonna make a new card together today. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me oops, and turn, don't mind my messy desk. We'll just turn you down here. All right, let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. There we go, and I'm gonna actually slide this over just a little bit so you can see my full grid paper. All right, here we go. So here is the beautiful catalog, right? And then here, let me show you, is this sweet, oh, hold on. This is the suite collection. So it's actually a bigger collection. You can get the Get It All here. It has the pattern paper, some specialty paper, an embossing folder, embellishments, and a bundle. And then also there's some add-on stuff here too. And I'm going to show you, I have the scrapbooking workshop kit, so I'll show that to you as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a look at the bundle itself. This is a die and stamp bundle. You can see you have some elements that cut out the stamped images and then some detail stuff. So those are extra bonus dies. And then the stamp set has this pretty little lily of the valley, some leaves, another smaller lily of the valleys, and then some great sentiments for this one. I love the sentiments and I love the font. So that was another reason why I was sold on this collection, because just lots of great sentiments and you gotta love a good font. This embossing folder is amazing. It's one of the larger format ones. It covers like a whole cardstock base. I'm actually going to show you this in action today. I had a piece left over, so we're going to use that for our card, so you'll see that today. I love the colors in this collection. So this is the, did they tell me here? It does not. I think it says it in the catalog. But if I'm correct, I believe it's Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, and then of course white, which is always versatile. But they've got a little like iridescence to them, which is kind of fun. So that's that. And then let's look at the paper. The paper is really, really pretty. I just pulled out the 6 designs, so you'll get 12 sheets to each of the patterns. And remember, they're double-sided. So we have this one here, and then the back side is this cute little darling duckling flower. And then we have this one, and the back side is this beautiful, like, 12 by 12, like, scene, I guess. This would be great for some scrapbooking photos if you're doing a scrapbook page with this. This is great all over, Lily of the Valleys. And then a nice subtle darling duckling print again. Again, another all over pattern for a 12 by 12 layout, but you could also cut it into quarters and do some really cute cards with that too, right? Backside is a fun crumb cake plaid. Then we have a crumb cake diamond here. And the back side is just like a green watercolor. And then the last one is this fun, smaller Lily of the Valley. And then the back side is a pool party plaid. Some of the colors in here include Lemon Lime Twist, Old Olive. Oops, that's Old Olive as well. Garden Green, sorry, testing myself. Coastal Cabana, Blackberry Bliss, and then of course some white. And then as part of this collection, there's also some specialty paper, and I'm gonna play with this today too. This is actually like an embossed, it's not really like raised embossed, but it's got like embossing ingrained into the paper, if that makes sense. So we've got this little leaf, you've got the Lily of the Valleys here, and then you've got this fun little like geometric pattern. You get 2 each of these in the package, and we're gonna play with this today too, so you'll see how that works. Okay, so this is just my folders of my paper, so let me get this out of the way and let's create something today. So today we're gonna start with a thick basic white base, and I'm gonna I scored it at 4 1/4. It's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I'm gonna give it a good crease here. And then, like I said, I had this leftover piece. Isn't this beautiful? So this is that embossing folder. It's called Floral Spray, and it's just beautiful. Like, it just kind of stands on its own. So I'm going to kind of let that be the shining point today. We can go ahead and actually tape this down. So let's just do that. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the front of the card. I cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. So it will be a nice little panel on our base. All right, and then I have a small piece of that embossed paper, and I have a little piece of pattern paper. We're gonna make a couple of banners, so I'm gonna just cut this in the middle and then do corner to center and corner to center, because we're gonna use that as a little banner in a minute. But let's give some color to this. So I actually have my Darling Duckling ink pad and my yellow blending brush. I'm going to just pick up some of that ink. I'm going to blot it off because I don't want a big blob on my paper, but then I'm just going to add some color to this. And you'll see I kind of start off and then do circles onto the pattern paper, and it's just going to make that pattern pop. And we're just going to color the whole thing. And you can make it as dark or as light as you'd like. You could do ombre, you can do all the things. Maybe we'll make this a little bit of an ombre. So with that, I'm gonna just do a little bit of yellow on the whole thing. And then we'll just make the middle and the top a little bit darker than the bottom. So we got some good color on the whole thing here. Okay, and then let's just go over this middle part, make it a little bit darker than that bottom. And then I'm going to turn it around and we're going to really add some color to this part here. Keep going over that dark part. Okay. Really get some saturation in here at the top. Okay, it's looking good. There we go. All right, now you can see it's kind of got like a dark to light vibe there. So let's go ahead and cut banners in this as well. So I'm going to just snip the bottom. And I used, on my other samples, I used white twine. And I would really like to do that again on this one too, but I ran out of white twine because we used it in class. So we're going to use linen thread. This is my go-to. We're going to just tie this around the top here, and let's fix that so I have a little bit more. We'll see if we have enough to do a bow. Maybe not. Let's just tie a knot first, and then we'll figure it out once we get it attached. So I'm going to just tie a knot. I think I could do a bow. I got plenty. But we're going to secure it first. So my plan, because I don't want to cover up too much of this, so my plan was to kind of have it popped up over here, and just to put a little bit of a interest here, we're going to put that there as well. And that kind of pulls in that linen thread, so I think the crumb cake color is a good tie-in for that. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to pop this up onto the card with some dimensionals, of course. So let's add those in here. Okay. And we've got those. All right. I'm going to put this here. I'm still covering a little bit of the flower, but it's okay. There's lots to look at here. Now that it's secure, I can go ahead and tie this bow. Makes it a little bit easier. Like that, and like that. Okay. It is kind of crooked, so if you wanted it to sit the right way, you could always use a little glue dot there. I'm just going to force it into submission here. There we go. And then we do need a sentiment, so I have just a little thanks, and I was thinking I would do a small little circle. So let's grab some white cardstock. I must have some white around here. Here we go. Let's do black ink. All right, we're just about done here, but don't run away because I have lots of samples to share with you, and I do have to say, these are some of my favorite. All right, so we're going to do a little thanks like that. And then we can pop this onto here with some dimensionals, and then maybe add some embellishments, and we'll call this good, right? Right there. Okay. And then last but not least, let's add some of these guys. I can get it open. I think maybe some white ones will be good. So let me grab my take your pick tool, and I'm gonna just add a few of these here and there. They're really cool because they kind of take on the color of whatever you're working with here. Oops. Come on. And there you go. Super simple. Very easy to put together, and that embossing folder really becomes the star of the show, right? So let's look at some of the other projects I did. So we have this one here. I think I kind of cased this somewhat from the catalog. I did it a little bit different than they did, but I used the tearing technique that they showed in there. And this is just the dies. I die cut the stems twice and then a bunch of the little flowers and just tacked those on and popped them up so there's some dimension. Then I have this one, and this one I cased right from the catalog. This was the very first card I made from my new goodies, and I will tell you that this took me 3 hours to recreate, only because my brain was so out of like the habit of creating that it took me forever to just copy something. But sometimes that happens, right? And that's why I kind of copied it, because I wanted to kind of have a starting point. But you can see here I also used that fun embossing paper here. Again, same color. I used it with the yellow, but this is more of the geometric pattern. It's just a really fun technique. You could do multicolors. You could do different colors. It's just a really fun, you could do spritzing, all sorts of fun techniques you can do with that specialty paper. Then I have this one, which is just a bunch of the Lily of the Valleys with colored those with a little bit of pool party blends, did some of the detail leaves and a fun little sentiment, as well as some accents of the paper. And then last but not least for cards, I did this one. This one's probably a little bit busy, but I loved this pattern. And I think this bold yellow kind of makes it pop and, you know, keeps it a little bit less chaotic, right? Added some bling, and there you have it. And see how that bling kind of catches the color? It's just really kind of cool. It's iridescent. All right, let's take a look at the, what is it called? The scrapbooking workshop kit. So this is called Life in Bloom, and I actually put these pages together and they're beautiful. So here are, if you haven't done one of our scrapbooking workshop kits, these are fabulous. So they have 3 finished page designs. They give you all the instructions for cutting them, and then the assembly instructions for how to put them together. Now, I haven't put photos in mine yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to use this one for, but I wanted to show you the pages because they're really, really pretty. And it's nice to just have something that's brainless, you know what I mean? You can just kind of put it together and not really think too hard. So this is this spread, and actually I think it goes this way. So you have this cool, remember I said this paper would be really cool for a scrapbook page? Isn't that perfect? So you have photo mats here that you could fill in, and I always put my pages together without any adhesive here so I can actually tuck my photos in here when I'm ready. So these are not adhered down. So I'll be able to get my photos in there when I'm ready, and that will be easy to do. And then this is the other side. This is where you'll put your photos. So they're kind of sectioned out here on the layout, and then you have some journaling and just some fun little die cuts that are only part of the scrapbooking workshop kit. So these are really, really fun, and I love, love, love the colors of these. Okay, so here's another one. Let me actually move this to the other side so I can see how they have these. All right, so this one goes like this, and it's funny, I actually always feel like I have to match the base pages, and you don't have to do that, right? So these actually go together, but they're not like the same exact thing. The colors coordinate, everything works together, but it doesn't have to be matchy. I probably should have lined these up better, but I did not, so whatever, it's fine. So you've got two photo mats here. Again, I can slip my photos under here because none of this is taped down, but just has a combination of the die cuts and the stickers from the sheet. And then we have this one here that has two more photo spots, and again I can tuck those photos in, and it says love grows here, family and friends, and one of the sweetest ways to love is to let someone grow. So super cute layout. And then the last one here is this one, and again some photo spots here and here, some journaling. Again, you can tuck your photos in, and then we have 3 more photos over here, and of course you could probably tuck in some more if you wanted to as well. Just really cute pages that are bright and colorful, perfect for some spring celebrations, right? And then what's really fun about these scrapbooking workshop kits is I have stuff left over. So I could definitely, see all this leftover stuff, I could definitely put together at least another page, maybe 2, using the leftover stickers and the leftover pieces and elements of the kit. So perhaps I'll try and do that at a later point. I know I've done it with a couple of the other scrapbooking workshop kits, and it's just really nice to be able to use up all those bits and pieces and have some coordinated pages that all go together, right? So there you have it. That is the Life in Bloom, or Valley in Bloom suite, which I think is really, really pretty, really, really fun, and also kind of a sleeper. Like, I'm not sure everybody will kind of see the value of these, but it's really, really pretty, and I love, love, love the colors. So I hope you do too. Don't forget, this is not our last video for this week. I will be releasing a new YouTube video every day, Monday through Friday, from now until May 15th. So we've got 3 more this week and then 5 more next week. So you'll be seeing all sorts of new goodies as we go through the week. So thanks so much for watching. Again, if you liked this video, go ahead and click the like button. And if you really want to make me do the happy dance, go ahead and subscribe. All right, my friends, have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.